Tonight on the America's Car-Mart Football Report, it's week 8 of the high school football season, if you can believe that, and it's a good time to upset the apple cart. It'll be the week of the upset, if you can believe the picks the Hootens.com gang is about to give you. And by the way, you should. We're pushing 85% correct on the year for all classifications combined. Take last week, Hootens.com nailed Jonesboro's upset win over North Little Rock. Now, we didn't pick Atkins, but the Red Devils finally ended a 19-game losing streak with a 1-point win over Quitman. Fayetteville took command of the driver's seat in the 7A West by dominating Bentonville, and many teams moved closer to secure playoff spots. I'm David Wallace. More football excitement awaits on this October Friday night. The America's Car-Mart Football Report starts now. We're set to go here. Everybody's in place. Barry Grooms joins me for analysis of key games coming up. Bates Yoakum is the producer/editor. Thomas Thrash is the executive producer. Let's put toe to leather, as they say, and kick off this America's Car-Mart Football Report with the Hootens.com Class 7A rankings, and only one change in the top 10 from last week. Still at number 1, the 7-0 Conway Wampus Cats. Fayetteville, impressive last week, stays at number 2, and also 7-0. Bentonville still number 3, despite losing to Fayetteville a week ago. Bryant is 4th, and you have Bentonville West at 5. Rogers is number 6. Fort Smith Southside 7. And number 8 is a Cabot team that struggled last week against Little Rock Central. Jonesboro is up 1 to number 9 after beating North Little Rock, and the Charging Wildcats drop 1 spot to number 10. Well, in Class 7A, our picks were 8-0 again, the third week out of the past 4 that's happened. That brings the season total to a respectable 55-16. Okay, in the 7A Central now, looking ahead to this week's games. Number 1, Conway welcomes Little Rock Central. Should be an easy one for the Wampus Cats. 4th-ranked Bryant plays at number 8, Cabot. Okay, an upset here. It would be Bryant's first loss to an in-state 7A team in 5 years, yet that's what the Hootens.com crew is picking, Cabot at home for the upset. 9th-ranked Jonesboro going to Central Arkansas to take on Little Rock Southwest. Hootens.com picking the Golden Hurricane to win that one. And 10th-ranked North Little Rock should get a win at home against Fort Smith Northside. Now to the 7A West. Here are the picks on Hootens.com. 2nd-ranked Fayetteville at Springdale is a favorite. 6th-ranked Rogers at home. An upset pick over number 3 Bentonville. There's another one of those upsets we promised. Rogers gets the call there. 5th-ranked Bentonville West is the favorite at Rogers Heritage. And 7th-ranked Fort Smith Southside at home is the pick against Harbor. All right, Barry, several upsets we've picked there. What do you think?
Well, David, that Rogers-Bentonville upset, here's why. Rogers 5-2, just beat Springdale by 40 points last year. Bentonville coming off back-to-back big games. They just lost to Fayetteville last week, and quarterback Carter Nye was injured in that one. David, Cabot at home. Cabot unbeaten at home over the past 3 seasons. That's the reason we picked the Panthers.
Good enough reason for me. Let's move on to Class 6A now and look at the Hootens.com rankings, where the top 4 remain the same, led by the Greenwood Bulldogs. 7-0, the only unbeaten team in 6A. At number 2 is Little Rock Christian, followed by Benton at 3. Pulaski Academy at number 4. All 3 of those teams are 6-1, and so is Marion, the 5th-ranked team, moving up 2 spots after beating West Memphis. The Blue Devils drop 1 to number 6. Little Rock Catholic is down 1 despite beating Sylvan Hills last week. Searcy moves up 1 to number 8 after beating Greene County Tech. Greenbrier slips 1 to number 9, losing last week at Russellville. And Van Buren stays at number 10. Last week's result for them was a loss at Pulaski Academy. Well, the Hootens.com crew got 7 of 9 games correct last week, and on the season, 83%. Let's look to the 6A East first of all for these Week 8 games. Number 3, Benton at home, is a favorite over Searcy. Hootens.com likes 5th-ranked Marion, welcoming Sheridan this week. El Dorado is a home favorite over Sylvan Hills. Number 6, West Memphis at Greene County Tech. West Memphis gets the call there to bounce back after last week's loss. And number 7, Little Rock Catholic, playing at War Memorial Stadium against Jacksonville is a favorite. Now to the 6A West, where number 1 Greenwood welcomes Russellville. Greenwood has won 12 of the last 13 meetings in this series, but the only Cyclone victory was in 2016, a 37-23 Class 6A state title game. Hootens.com likes Greenwood this week. Number 2 Little Rock Christian is a favorite at Van Buren. 4th-ranked Pulaski Academy, another road favorite at Greenbrier. And Mountain Home, also going on the road, is favorite at Siloam Springs. Okay, Barry, there's Class 6A. What stands out to you?
Let's talk about Searcy, the number 8th ranked team at number 4 Benton. Searcy playing really well right now. Ty Strickland threw 5 touchdown passes, ran for another last week at Greene County Tech. But the Lions will need every bit of offense it can muster this week. Drew Davis and this Benton Panther offense really rolling along. The Panthers scored 70 points last week on Jacksonville. That's the first time they've hit the 70-point mark since 1930. Sheridan's at Marion. Marion looking to get that number 2 playoff seed out of the conference. And Marion has beaten Sheridan all 3 times they played the past 2 years by mercy rule.
Thank you, Barry. Coming up next, Class 5A on this America's Car-Mart Football Report.
All right, David, can't wait for kickoff. Man, it's time for some football. I'm Chad Hooten for America's Car-Mart. If you're headed to the game, just remember that America's Car-Mart is all in for Arkansas high school football. And when you shop at America's Car-Mart, they're all in for you. From purchase to payoff, Car-Mart will work with you and your individual situation. It's personal for Car-Mart. Just go see for yourself why Car-Mart is different from all the rest. You can stay connected by following Car-Mart on social media or online at car-mart.com. America's Car-Mart, keeping you on the road and good neighbors in our communities. Coming up next, more from the America's Car-Mart football studios. David Wallace and the Hootens crew with more rankings, analysis, and predictions next on the America's Car-Mart football report.
Not all college ends with a bachelor's degree. There are shorter-term programs that help students get to work in a profession they love. Best of all, Arkansas needs qualified workers in these high-demand fields: healthcare, industry manufacturing, and information technology. There are scholarships such as Arkansas Workforce Challenge and Our Future that will help pay for classes. Apply today at scholarships.adhe.edu.
Okay, I gotta pick up some beef for the cookout. Now what's good?
Let Tony make the call.
Tony Romo? What are you doing in a butcher shop?
Just something I picked up in the off-season. What's up?
I'm on my way to a barbecue. What should I bring?
Steaks, hamburgers, brisket?
Are those my choices?
That's your order. Beef is the best way to make your cookouts extraordinary this summer.
Thanks, Tony.
Another satisfied customer. All right, who's next? Beef. It's what's for dinner. Funded by beef farmers and ranchers.
This ad is courtesy of Beef. It's what'sfordinner.com.
Back with you in the America's Car-Mart Football Studios. This is the America's Car-Mart Football Report. America's Car-Mart keeping you on the road. Let's look now at Class 5A and run down the Hootens.com rankings. Number 1 is Little Rock Parkview, unbeaten and just dominating the world seemingly. Number 2 is Shiloh Christian at 3 Valley View, followed by Joe T. Robinson. Those 3 teams are all 6-1. So is Mills checking in at number 5. Pine Bluff stays at number 6 at 6-2 after a last-second win over Whitehall. Hot Springs is number 7, followed by unbeaten Southside. Then you have Hot Springs Lakeside up 3 to number 9 after beating Hope. Camden Fairview also moving up 3 and into the top 10 after a win at DeQueen. Last week, 81%, 13 of 16 correct. And for the year, 84% for Class 5A. Let's look at the 5A Central, where number 4 Joe T. Robinson welcomes number 5 Mills. On paper, the game of the year in this conference. However, number 5 Mills is without 12 key guys, all suspended after a fight. And so Joe T. Robinson at home is favored in what could be a very close game. Number 6 Pine Bluff goes to Morrilton. The Zebras get the nod there. Hootens.com likes Whitehall at Valonia and Maumelle at Watson Chapel. Now to the 5A East, where several road teams are favored, including number 3 Valley View at number 8 Southside. There's a key top 10 matchup. Batesville going to Brooklyn. Batesville gets the nod. And Nettleton on the road is a favorite at Forest City. Wynn welcomes Paragould, and Hootens.com does favor Wynn here, but it could be closer than some think. Okay, a lot to chew on there, Barry.
David, good explanation there on the Mills Joe T. Robinson pick. Let's look at the East. Conference title on the line. Valley View at Southside. Winner's going to get that 5A East crown. Southside has won one league title in its school history. Valley View's won 3 of the past 6 5A East titles. This year, Valley View rolling along. They've won the 4 conference games by an average of 43-8. Southside last week trailed Nettleton in the second quarter, then ran off 28 unanswered points. This is a really good Southside defense, a close game, but Valley View has a great quarterback in Carson Turley, and he is the difference.
Moving on now to the 5A South, where number 7 Hot Springs goes to Texarkana. Hot Springs is a favorite there. Number 10 Camden Fairview is picked at Hope, and Hot Springs Lakeside, another road favorite, traveling to DeQueen. In the 5A West, number 2 Shiloh Christian going to Farmington. Shiloh Christian behind Bo Williams, the favorite there. Alma is picked at Prairie Grove. Pea Ridge, a road favorite at Clarksville. And so is Harrison, a road favorite at Dardanelle. In the West, all the road teams are picked on Hootens.com.
David, this Harrison-Dardanelle game could be close because Harrison's going to be emotionally drained. Last week, the Goblins trailed Alma by double digits at halftime. We're still down in the fourth quarter, kept edging closer and closer through the winning touchdown pass on 4th and 17 from the 31-yard line in the final seconds. So can they keep the momentum rolling at Dardanelle this week? And then Camden Fairview, the Cardinals, play a dangerous Hope team. Camden Fairview can't get caught looking ahead. They've got Hot Springs and Parkview coming up the next 2 weeks to decide the conference title.
All right, Barry, stay with us on this America's Car-Mart Football Report.
Okay, David, sounds like some great games this week. I'm Chad Hooten with Hooten's Arkansas Football for America's Car-Mart. And just like all the hard-working high school football players, the folks at Car-Mart work hard to keep you on the road. Car-Mart knows that buying a vehicle is a big decision, and that's why they take selling you a vehicle very seriously. When you shop at Car-Mart, they're there for you. Car-Mart cares about you and your vehicle ownership. You know what? You can save time at the dealership by starting your car buying journey online at car-mart.com. It's America's Car-Mart, keeping you on the road. That's their pledge to you. And coming up next, more from the America's Car-Mart Football Report studios. David and the Hootens gang with analysis of more matchups and those crystal ball predictions. Next on the America's Car-Mart Football Report.
Going to college may not look the same as it has before, but you have the power to move forward. There are over 1,000 hands-on or online programs in Arkansas designed to put you to work, and they qualify for state scholarships and grants. Healthcare, education, computer technology, industry technology, and more. Take your next step forward. Visit explorearcareers.com with instructions about how to apply.
David Wallace back with you on the America's Car-Mart Football Report. We're checking out Class 4A now and running down the Hootens.com rankings, where there is only one change in the top 10, but not right at the top, where number 1 Malvern stays put. Number 2 Warren, number 3 Harding Academy, and number 4 Elkins are all unbeaten. At 5 you have Rivercrest, followed by Arkadelphia, a 3-3 team. That checks in at number 6. Ozark is 7. DeWitt stays at number 8 after losing a close one to Warren. Then Nashville is 9. And Stuttgart up 1 to number 10 after Mercy ruling Cave City. Well, 84% correct on the year for Class 4A as well. Let's see how we do this week. Where in the 1-4A, all visiting teams are picked on Hootens.com. You've got Elkins favored at Ozark, Huntsville favored at Berryville, Gravett the favorite at Green Forest, and Gentry at Lincoln, although that last one could be very close. In the 2-4A, number 3 Harding Academy rolling along and going to Riverview. Not a very long trip there for the Wildcats. Hootens.com likes Harding Academy in that one. Number 10 Stuttgart at home, a favorite over Heber Springs, and Lone Oak at home gets the nod over Bald Knob. In the 3-4A, Rivercrest welcomes Gosnell. The Colts are favored. Highland is the pick at Harrisburg. Hootens.com likes Pocahontas at Jonesboro Westside, and Blytheville at Truman in a close game. Okay, Barry, tell us about that Hootens.com game of the week.
David, it's number 4 Elkins at number 7 Ozark. Winner's going to get a conference title, that number 1 playoff seed. Elkins unbeaten behind quarterback Dizzy Dean and running back Deshaun Chairs. The Elks putting up 56 points a week. Ozark has won 5 straight games since losing to Boonville in the opener. The Hillbillies outscoring conference opponents by 34 points a game. This one could be a shootout. And David, another good one's going to be Heber Springs at Stuttgart. Upstart Heber Springs won 4 straight games by an average of 39 points. They found their fullback, sophomore Bryce Seegers. He's 135 pounds, but last week had 200 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns against Lone Oak. But the quarterback, Liam Buffalo, was injured, and his availability is doubtful. That's why we picked Stuttgart.
Okay, the rest of 4A now. Let's go to the 4A, where Bauxite is favored at home over Mayflower. Hootens.com picks Clinton at home, welcoming Pottsville this week. And CAC at Dover. The Mustangs are favored on the road. In the 7-4A, number 6 Arkadelphia is favored at home over Ashdown, and number 9 Nashville is a home favorite over Waldron. Mena plays a non-conference game with Falk, and that game in Mena, and the Bearcats are favored at home. In the 8-4A, number 2 Warren is the pick over Monticello, that game in Warren. Crossett welcoming Helena. Hootens.com picks Crossett there. McGee entertains Dumas, a big game with major playoff implications. Who does Hootens.com like? The Owls at home. Hamburg is a road favorite at Star City. All right, Perry.
David, you got to look at Monticello at Warren. Could decide the conference championship. Hey, the winner of this game, though, gets the 146-pound Saline River Shootout Trophy. Under Coach Bo Embry, Warren has 20 wins, 2 losses, and 1 tie in this series over Monticello. Last week, the Lumberjacks had to rally past DeWitt, and it was Trey Jackson, the senior running back, and junior Antonio Jordan at receiver. He had 6 catches for 123 yards, and they're the reasons the Lumberjacks are favored this week. Also, big games involving teams from Ashley County. Helena's at Crossett. Helena's lost 7 straight games by an average of 42-11. In Hamburg at Star City, the Lions need a victory to keep their playoff hopes alive. They beat Helena 42-0 last week. Willis Robinson had 170 yards rushing in that game. Star City must win its final 2 games to stay in playoff contentions. And every game in this conference has big playoff implications.
Class 3A, 2A, and 8-man football all ahead on the America's Car-Mart Football Report.
All right, David, getting a little closer to kickoff. I'm Chad Hooten for America's Car-Mart, keeping you on the road. It's America's Car-Mart, and they will do all they can to keep you on the road. America's Car-Mart makes it easy to buy. They offer affordable, quality vehicles, low down payments, plus optional service contracts to offer a little peace of mind. And if you're credit challenged, America's Car-Mart is the place for you. Affordable used vehicles with low down payments, flexible payment plans. It's America's Car-Mart, keeping you on the road. And coming up next, it's more of the America's Car-Mart Football Report.
Not all college ends with a bachelor's degree. There are shorter-term programs that help students get to work in a profession they love. Best of all, Arkansas needs qualified workers in these high-demand fields: healthcare, industry manufacturing, and information technology. There are scholarships such as Arkansas Workforce Challenge and Our Future that will help pay for classes. Apply today at scholarships.adhe.edu.
Hey everyone, it's Tony Romo, and I'm here to remind you that it's grilling season. And how do you make those summer cookouts extraordinary? With beef. Whether you're slow roasting ribs or throwing a couple of hamburgers on the grill, some top sirloin kebabs, or, wait, what was I saying again? Oh yeah, set your grilling season on fire this year with beef. Beef, it's what's for dinner. For more ideas, visit beefitswhatsfordinner.com. Funded by beef farmers and ranchers.
Welcome back. We're looking at Class 3A now, and the top 10 rankings reflect no changes from last week. You know, when you get most of your picks right, you don't have to change anything. Number 1 is Boonville in 3A. Prescott is number 2, impressing last week by beating Homer of Louisiana in a non-conference game. Harmony Grove, Ouachita County stays at number 3, followed by Charleston at 4. Both number 5 Salem and number 6 Hoxie are unbeaten. 7 is Mansfield, a 5-2 team. Walnut Ridge also 5-2 is number 8. Glen Rose at number 9, close to wrapping up the 4-3A championship. And Newport is number 10. last week. Hootens.com got 16 of 18 correct. Let's go to Northwest Arkansas, the 1-3A games. Number 1, Boonville welcoming third-ranked Charleston. Number 1 versus number 3. What a blockbuster matchup. Hootens.com favors the Bearcats at home over Charleston. 7th-ranked Mansfield is a road favorite at Lavaca. Hackett gets the call at home against West Fork. And Greenland is picked on Hootens.com at Cedarville. A win for either team would be a big deal. Greenland with just 1 win. Cedarville 0-7 on the season. Now to the 2-3A. Hootens.com likes 10th-ranked Newport over Melbourne. That game at Greyhound Stadium. Perryville on the road is favored at Quitman. Hootens.com going with Atkins for a second straight win. The Red Devils welcoming Yellville Summit, and they are picked this week on Hootens.com. Now to the 3-3A. Number 6 Hoxie at Manila. The Mustangs favored in a blowout. Number 8, Walnut Ridge at home against Osceola. Conversely, this should be a very close game, but Hootens.com is going with Walnut Ridge. Okay, Barry?
Well, David, it's what the Boonville folks have been waiting for. It's a rematch of last year's 3A state title game. This one will decide the 1-3A title this fall. Charleston visits Boonville. Boonville, of course, led by running backs Dax Goff and Rylan Ray. Bearcats mercy ruling everybody by halftime right now. Charleston, though, playing great defense. Coach Ricky May says the Tigers are getting healthy, starting to gel. That's why we're making this our game of the week. Should be a good one.
Now to the 4-3A, as we have 3 more conferences to look at in Class 3A. The 4-3A now number 9, Glen Rose at home, a favorite over winless Two Rivers. Bismarck at home is the pick over Danville. Center Point on the road is a favorite at Paris. And Magnet Cove, a road favorite at Jesseville. Now to the 5-3A, second-ranked Prescott looking for its 8th win of the year, goes to Smackover, and the Curly Wolves should get that 8th win, picked by Hootens.com. Gurdon is a favorite at Horatio, and Junction City plays at Hampton out of Class AA. This should be a blowout win for Junction City in the non-conference game. Now finally the 6-3A, number 3, Harmony Grove, Ouachita County, going to Fordyce. Hootens.com likes the third-ranked Hornets on the road. And Rison is a road favorite at Lake Village. That's noteworthy because Rison is winless so far this year, would be the Wildcats' first victory of the season.
Harmony Grove, Ouachita County at Fordyce. This one has big playoff implications. The Hornets rolling on offense, but the Redbugs of Fordyce just beat Rison by 35 points last week. This one will decide a conference championship.
Let's go to Class 2A now and run down the Hootens.com rankings. Number 1 is Mineral Springs, unbeaten on the year at 7-0. Bigelow also with that record, checks in at number 2. Then at 3 is Carlisle. 4 is Des Arc. 5, the Hazen Hornets, followed by East Poinsett County at number 6. Conway Christian moves up 2 spots to number 7 after handling Johnson County Westside last week. Murfreesboro, unbeaten at 7-0, is number 8. And the Rattlers are headed for a Week 10 showdown with Mineral Springs. 9th is Mark Tree, and 10th is England. 81% correct on the year in Class 2A. Let's run down this week's picks. Number 2, Bigelow at Johnson County Westside. Hootens.com going with Bigelow there. Number 7, Conway Christian, favored at home over Mountainburg, and Hector gets the nod at home against Magazine. In the 2-2A, number 4, Des Arc, a road favorite at Cross County. EPC, the number 6 team, goes to Mariana, and EPC is the pick there. Number 9, Mark Tree, favorite at Clarendon, and McCrory at Earl. McCrory, another road favorite. Now to the 3-2A, number 1, Mineral Springs, welcoming Mount Ida. Mount Ida handicap, missing its quarterback because of injury. This could be a runaway with number 1 Mineral Springs favored. Number 8, Murfreesboro is a road favorite at Foreman, and Poen at Dirks. Close game here, but the Indians of Poen are picked. Now to the 4-2A, number 3, Carlisle at home, a favorite over Baptist Prep. Hootens.com likes number 5, Hazen at Little Rock Episcopal. And Bearden at home against number 10, England. That could fall into that category of upsets we've been picking this week. Okay, Barry, what's the best game of that lot?
David, let's look at Des Arc at Cross County. Des Arc rolling right along offensively. A week ago, the Eagles had two 100-yard rushers, Davion Bell, Gabe Berry. Those guys combined for 245 yards and 4 touchdowns last week against Clarendon. Ross County just beat Mariana by 24 points. They had a couple of 100-yard rushers. Kadarian Washington, Jordan Whiteside both played well in that game. Both teams love to run the football. This one should be a close game.
All right, David, getting me ready for some football. I'm Chad Hooten of Hooten's Arkansas Football for America's Car-Mart. Did you know, just like this America's Car-Mart football report is on more than 20 stations around the state, Car-Mart serves over 20 communities in Arkansas. They're a different kind of car dealership. Their commitment to service and excellence is second to none. And when you buy from Car-Mart, they do everything they can to get you into a quality used vehicle and keep you on the road until payoff. They offer shorter contracts, lower interest rates, and low down payments, a flexible payment plan. Car-Mart will work for you. Check out some of their vehicles online or start your buying experience at car-mart.com. It's America's Car-Mart. And coming up next, more of the America's Car-Mart Football Report.
Going to college may not look the same as it has before, but you have the power to move forward. There are over 1,000 hands-on or online programs in Arkansas designed to put you to work, and they qualify for state scholarships and grants. Healthcare, education, computer technology, industry technology, and more. Take your next step forward. Visit explorearcareers.com with instructions about how to apply.
There's the final horn. That wraps up another America's Car-Mart Football Report. I'm glad you tuned in, and I hope you'll avail yourself of the website this week, Hootens.com, where you'll find comprehensive football coverage, including a video feature of the First Community Bank Scholar Athlete of the Week, Hazen quarterback Josh Dawson. On game night, your best spot for scores as they happen is the high school scoreboard on Hootens.com, powered by First Security. My thanks to Barry Grooms. I'm David Wallace. Join us a week from now for the next America's Car-Mart Football Report. Until then, we'll see you at the stadium.